All right, Wholeness. Today is September 29th. Tomorrow is the last day of September, September 30th. Then we move on into October. So this reading will be about October. October, by our Gregorian calendar, is the 10th month. But if you understand the word October itself, oct, the root of it is eight. So before all the further fuckery and foolishness of Roman rule, before they added a couple months to it, October used to be the eighth month. Eight in my number system represents the struggle with the thoughts in your head. Eight by a lot of tarot systems represents the strength card. It is where you have, going through your battles, so to speak. Really the same thing. The struggle in your head sometimes is the battles you're going through. And that's kind of like where a lot of people are at. But the other thing about the 10, as far as October, 10 is two numbers pretending to be one. 10 is a 1 and a 0, and they're playing the role of the 10. It is the entreatment of duality. You'll always hear me call 10 the Lilith choice. 10 represents the wheel of fortune, where with the wheel of fortune, it's always going to be in motion. It's just whether you're on your ups or your downs as to your point of view. The wheel of fortune has to deal with your abundance. Everybody wants to get into the wheel of fortune so that you can see your gains. What I would say about that is that you have to make sure that you understand the abundance within you before you get out here trying to manifest it into your life. At that point, manifestation becomes manipulation. That's a long story, and it's a hard one for a lot of people to understand, is that a lot of times you're out here trying to manifest, but you ain't doing nothing but manipulating. Spell work in itself is manipulation. Prayer is a manipulation. Do what you do. Don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you not to do it. It's just that if you don't understand the use of your energy, then the energy keeps using you. Just because it makes you feel good to believe in something, if you don't have enough wherewithal to understand to where it's bastardized to, or it's been given to you in deception or in reduction in a lot of cases, then you'll just keep on doing the same. That's going to show out tomorrow, but this is about October. Tomorrow is going to show out to where everybody is pretty much buying into the same struggle, because we, as a collective, keep manifesting the primary obstacle. We keep going through, think about it in America, we're going through way more than what most people ever thought they'd see in their lives, is because some people still believe this is necessity. October is going to show you where that struggle that you keep on embracing ain't going to do nothing but keep on making you take choices on what's going to pull you apart. 1 is your potentiality. 0 is the origin point. Am I more concerned about potentially what things are, or am I more concerned about zeroing in on where all of my energy was? The other thing you always hear me say is, here's a 1, put that 0 that most people say don't have no value, put a 0 behind anything, what's in front of it already gains amplification. Look at us this whole year, and I told you last year that 2025 is the year of guidance, the year of trickery, the year of control. They've only put more and more stuff in front of us, and people can't stop seeing it. They put so much stuff in front of you that can potentially pull you apart that you forgot to hold yourself together. You become the fool. And so if you've been fooled by everything that's put in front of you, guess where all the energy's at? You created a 10. Collectively, we create a 10. And we do it every day. It's just getting to the point to where if you dump so much energy in a container, think about a piggy bank. You start putting so much coins in the piggy bank to where it's not getting full, you either going to have to use some of that energy in that piggy bank, let it burst, or if you were smart, make another one to keep on adding to your pot. Think about the last one. Add another layer of deception to where you already got people's energy stored in a container so that you can take them to another level, but you still storing more of their energy. But most people can't see that. You can't see where a lot of stuff we got going on is really only designed to take your energy and make it harder for you to focus on you. You say it all the time, but you don't do anything about it. because you collectively, and not all of us, but collectively, the average person thinks that you have to choose from the shit you were given in order to get out of the shit altogether. Nobody wants to do anything different, and you'll never, within the basic human mind programming, you'll never find enough people in the collective that is willing to take a chance on just breaking the system, because the system's already broken them. We were saying something earlier about, man, if everybody would just park their car. She was saying, my wife was saying, if everybody just parked their car and stopped for an hour and just did nothing and realized that you don't have to do this, you don't have to do that. My perspective and my reality, especially from the trucking world in my days as a trucker, everybody ain't gonna do it. The minute you get everybody to sit still, somebody's panic button is gonna kick in and they're going to reach for what everybody else is trying to let go of, and it's just gonna substantiate a new cycle. The fear of doing something different keeps everybody doing the same. October might highlight that. October might show you where people have gotten to the point to where they're in this Lilith choice that you hear me talking about. You're going to choose between the knife and the gun. You're trying to figure out which one you think you can handle. You acknowledge that both of them are dangerous. You just want to see which one is going to be less deadly. That's a bad place to be. That is that proverbial thing I've been saying for decades. That's choosing between plantation A and plantation B. Both of them going to get you fucked up. So let's see. Realistically, perspective, resonance and ignorance only. What is the October? Whether it's considered the 8 Oct or whether it's considered the 10 October by Gregorian standards. What is October going to represent? And again, we're in the fall. So before I even throw this card, remember, in the fall and the winter, seasonal depression is real. When you are in a suppressed and oppressed environment, depression becomes real. But depression, with very few points that I'm going to, from my own perspective, from my own perspective, with very few points that I'm going to say is really something that you can't avoid, depression becomes a choice. Depression is where you have held on to something in so much that it's weighing you down. There are cases where people chemically can't just get out of it. That's where I see it. Some of them, I'll give you some cases. But if you're holding on to shit and you're producing the environment for your mind to only work towards them, it's still on you. You got to stop giving so much value to the shit that's pulling you apart and start valuing your ability to hold you together. Yes, it does, but it doesn't. And that's kind of like what I'm saying, Tracy. And again, not challenge or anything. It does take a lot to push through it because you've already paid attention to it. But if I understand just to be mindful and aware of what I'm allowing to get my energy, this is no different. And again, not challenging you. This is no different than what you hear keeping me saying about people in astrology and numerology and retrogrades and stelliums and planetary alignments. Soon as something gives you something to gravitate to as a reasoning for why it's plausible in your energy, you make space for it. When I understand, okay, yeah, Saturn was conjunct last week. It was beautiful, it was pretty. But you know what? I have to be responsible for me, not as responsive to what I think is only hyping up my situation. Trust me, yeah. I lived in when I used to be stationed in Europe, I was in a blizzard down in Bosnia, and, you know, not just daylight and things like that, but just snow after snow after snow and ice and ice. That shit will wear your ass out, especially being on a fucking minefield. So, yeah, conditions can condition you to stay in cycles of sickness. You understand what I'm saying? But if I stay in my energy enough to understand that I cannot become so affected by my environment that I'm no longer effective or effective for myself, you change the parameters. Exactly. You see it. I know what I can and can't do within it, and I know what I am going to and not going to allow it to do to me. But most people don't think that way. Most people is just, oh, here it is now. I just got to sit and take it. That's exactly what I was saying. Everybody as a collective feels so embattled that they only want the conditions to stop being so suppressive and depressive on them that all they do is sit there and take it. You got to change your mindset, change your life. Change your mindset, change your life. And that is a hard one for people to invest in. But again, you gotta let your life tell your tale. You can sit there and change your mindset by spending more energy on why you have to let go of these things, and that becomes a danger. When you know it's time to let go of something, the moments you're taking trying to figure out the best angle of release is wasted energy. You understand that? Say, for example, just a basic relationship. The relationship ain't working no more. But let's get off a relationship. Let's do a job. The job is not working out for me no more. Instead of figuring out how to just get out of the job, you're trying to figure out the best angle of release. Well, I need to do that. And maybe if I do that, you understand that? All that time in creation, it only adds to the depression. So as I was saying, this October month is only going to make things more depressive as this environment, this insane environment that we've sponsored. Give a fuck about what you think. We're all here, so we all allowed this shit to get where it's at. And the fact that nobody wants to do anything different, we all sponsor creating the same shit show. I don't give a fuck what color and what wing you think you are on the same bird. It's still shit. So in the sense that when we allow the shit to become a shit show, it is only going to suppress and depress people more and more. You have to take your energy out of it. And again, you'll always hear me say this does not mean pretend like it ain't there. Figure out why you're here. Figure out why you're so invested in something that is obviously designed to not only distract you, but infuriate you. And if you can't start to find the joys, the workouts, the creating points, the dancing points, the traveling points, the cooking, things like that. If you can't start finding the little things that make you happy, you'll see the big shit that make you sad. And now seasonal depression don't depress you, you depress yourself. October is going to show us where a lot of people, you ain't in seasonal depression, you're just in cycles of regression. You won't stop mourning, you won't stop grieving, you won't stop watching the shit show, you won't stop embattling yourself, you won't stop negative talk within yourself, you won't stop thinking that somebody coming to save you. And this is more than religion. This is in all levels. You won't stop thinking that a system designed to govern you is going to help you move ahead. It's counterintuitive. So October is going to show you where you've already chosen between the things that have already going to take your energy and you wonder why you don't have none. So real quick, 10 points on why it's not wise to keep dumping your energy into a system designed to deplete yours and expecting this bullshit word here, ascension. You're going to ascend, all right? You're going to ascend into madness. You understand that? Ascension is motion. It's perspective on whether you're going to call it ascending or descending. It's still motion nonetheless. If you're moving away from your center, you've already lost yourself. You can lie to yourself about having a destination, but ascending into something other than you means you're no longer who you are. Holy shit. October, you're Halloween. You're about to wear a mask. You're now going to put on a mask for what you're going through because it's safer than who you are. Take that one for what it is. And that's what I see almost every day is people are pretending on the best version, that proverbial fake it till you make it. You're pretending on the best version that you've learned to become while most of you don't even understand the shit that come out your damn pie hole, but it's safer than where you were. And I'm not here to knock you. I'm just saying at some point you got to quit faking. At some point you have to stand up on what you think you are, who you say you are, and not prove it, just be it. See, that's still a journey right there when you're trying to prove who you are to somebody else. No, just be who you are. I am who I say I am. Most of you can't do that. Most of you can't say that. And that's not a challenge, but it is. Be who the fuck you say you are. And be unfucking movable. But you got to get your energy back and got to stop fooling yourself. So October, 10 points that you might want to pay attention to on how you might be fooling yourself and giving all your potential to what's designed to keep you stuck in a motherfucking cycle. The first thing, stop that 8. Remember I told you October 10 is an 8. Stop being the victim. And I've been saying this all year. We are in a plan. I've been saying it for longer, but this year really showed it. There's a bunch of narcissistic victims out here. Anytime somebody says something that tickles your little fancy the wrong way, you want to go run and whine and post a video and cry about why what they said wasn't relevant to me. If it wasn't relevant to you, why are you giving it so much energy? You understand that? If something ain't relevant to you, why are you giving it so much energy unless it was true? Holy shit, there go that mask. The first thing you got to make sure is, where I told you 8 was the struggle with the thoughts in your head. When something or somebody highlights who you are, but it's not who you want to be, don't get mad at them. Get mad at you for harboring a motherfucking infection. Don't be the victim. When somebody can see through your mask, you got to start asking yourself, when am I going to stop playing games? Be who the fuck you say you are, or else you're already a victim to what? You're a victim to reality. And again, on deeper levels, there is no reality within this illusion, but you got to start somewhere. Since y'all can't get out of the fact that this is an illusion, stop being a victim to the reality you accept. That's already playing no-no. How the fuck you gonna win the game when you don't even put yourself in the best position? And please stop doing this next thing right here, which will probably come up on this card, but I'll say it first. Please stop doing this thing that is divine timing or maybe it's what I got to go through. Stop thinking that everything you're going through is what you got to go through, and start understanding where sometimes it's really just not only happenstance, it's your choices. You didn't do anything to secure yourself, so you got met with obstacles that showed you adversity. That'll hurt some of you. Sometimes shit happens in your life because you've been shitting on yourself and not doing what you're supposed to do. So step 2. Enslavement. Remember I told you the Lilith choice was choosing between the knife and the gun when both of them going to get you enslaved? You've only been working for your enslavement. Why? That Leviathan, that 2 and that 7, I've been connected to who I'm telling you I am, has only kept me from what I actually am. You have enslaved yourself to a game of falsehood, living out false identities. You've enslaved yourself to the false identity that where something happens with the real one, you don't know how to react. 2 + 7, 9. You've already lost control. What's this year? 9. You've already lost control. And now you're trying to trick everybody else into thinking like you, or you're trying to trick yourself into saying that you think different, when really you just keep thinking the same. Victimized narcissism. So the third step in this October energy, it's another 9. But you see a 6. This is the Hermit card. You're supposed to be sharing your energy with things that show you the highest form of healing until you can understand healing is a trick. What's going on, Jaguar? You understand that? You're supposed to be coveting your energy so that you understand, I don't need to get out here and heal with others, especially when others are only a reflection of my sickness. And I just posted about that a few minutes ago before I went live. Everything and everyone is a reflection of you in your healing or your sickness until you learn that both of them motherfuckers are really the same. Walking around here thinking that you are sick and you got something to heal from is a sickness. It's called hypochondria. We are in spiritual hypochondria. I've been posting about that shit for years. We are in a cycle of coveting our ability to go on a journey to find ourselves, but motherfucker, you don't even know who you are. Make that shit make sense. Seclude yourself while healing. Again, like I'm saying, healing is the trick. Heal from what? Heal from what? I went through something. Something bad happened. I lost somebody. Somebody did something to me. Holy shit. It happened. I can't change it. Stay present. Figure out why I still have so much value for what happened to me. And then make a choice on what's next. Not carry that with me while I try and make sense of how it happened, what happened, knowing that I can't change it. And now it's changing me because I've misinvested my energy from staying present because I'm too focused on my past, hoping that I get a better future. But you've already lost all your gifts. You've already fooled yourself into the potentials. Exactly. That warned y'all last year. I told you that 2025 was going to be the year of need. The big words for 2025 was going to be need, necessity, protection, and guidance. And holy shit, we need protections from the guidance we got because that motherfucker need to be locked up. Ta-da. So yeah, when you, again, like I said, if you keep going to the system that's designed to govern you to get the answer, you're already lost. If you keep going to text and scripts from ancient cultures that were lost and still are lost, sorry if that hurts your feelings, but if you go to the ancient societies that didn't make it out as a way for you to make it out, you're a fool. If they didn't make it out, Why is it so different now, especially when life was so much easier back then? There was a more established flow with nature. We are so fucking unnatural, it's ridiculous. I don't know if y'all pay attention to shit, but hell, they built something in China where they're blaming it on China. They built this big ass dam in China that was enough to throw the fucking earth off its axis because it dammed up so much water. So if we, by building something, can direct the flow of the energy, and all we do is walk around in suppression and depression and anger and greed and fear and lack, the fuck you think we doing? Healing is the trick, because you walking around here trying to heal from the same sickness that we're replicating. So you got to get out of this mindset. Thank you. And I'm reading what you're saying now, Tracy. Exactly. From beauty to health to when really it's the society that's making a lot of the sickness. Ta-da! Again, the world was in abundance. The world was here for you to see that you don't need nothing else. And then somebody realized, holy shit, I can trick these motherfuckers into thinking they need something while making them give me what they need and waiting on me to give it back. They'll never ask for it on their own. And they won't journey to get it. They'll only journey to stay away from where they keep stealing from themselves. It's a fucking Ponzi scheme. It's goddamn Amway. You have given your abundance, the rights to your abundance, to a system of scarcity, and you get mad when it don't return it. When what was its original imprint? I'm going to lie to you by taking all that you had and potentially telling you how to get it back. Again, the example I'll always give is, give me $50 and I'll show you how to make 20. Real talk. PayPal me, healingreveal@gmail.com. PayPal me $50. I'll tell you how to make 20. Matter of fact, PayPal me $50, I'll give you 20. I won't even show you how to do it. I'll just give it to you. Realistically, if we sat down, that's how we sound. That's how idiotic we sound. Hell yeah, send Sabo 52. And then once he send me 70, he gonna give you 20. See, I got rich in that scheme. You send me 50, you send him 50, then he send me 70, I'm up. But again, the third card was, you covet what they've told you healing is here. Healing is a sickness. I know it hurts your separated illusion of separation. I'm a healer. I know it hurts your mindset to hear somebody tell you healing is a sickness. Again, understand hypochondria. There's nothing wrong with you. The only thing wrong with you is that you keep making choices that don't work out in your favor. And then you'll try and choose from the choices that did work out in your favor by trying to find a way to make the choices that did work out in your favor work out in your favor. What do we call that, children? I'll help you. The definition of insanity. We call that master self-sabotage. When you know something is not for you, but you won't stop being for it. Government, racism, greed, poverty, lack, fear. And here's one that'll hurt y'all motherfuckers. Love. Love is a fucking attachment in this realm. Love is a load of vast energy to get you to connect to something with the end game of establishing balance by losing balance of yourself. But that's another class. Keep holding on to that shit that you think is healing and wondering why you're getting sicker. Chemicals in the brain are responsive to the thought processes that direct the flow of the output. You understand that? This hurts a lot of ADHD minds and people like that. No, you can't change overnight, but if you don't start doing something different, motherfucker, keep expecting the same. I can't stop thinking. I can't stop staying unfocused. Okay, then start training yourself to do something different. Is it going to go away in one night? No. Will you start noticing small changes? Would you start giving consistency of yourself that maybe your chemical output will start to honor the change? But here's the trick. You have to understand longevity. Or is it the minute that it becomes hard, I'm going to go back to doing the same thing? Don't lie to me. Lie to yourself. If you cannot show consistency enough in yourself to produce an effect and cause a change, you have already effectively broken yourself. You won't get no change. So, don't give a fuck about you not liking me saying that. It's the damn truth. Everything on some levels can be met with reduction even if you cannot get out of the condition altogether. I'm not telling you that it's going to go away overnight and now you're a perfect organized thinker. But if you don't do anything to train your mind going to keep training you to harm yourself. But you'll love it. There go that dirty word again. You become the sponsor of your own sickness. Step 4, you'll choose separation. You'll choose one form of enslavement over the other as long as you think you got a handle on it, when it's really just got a handle on you. Step 4, it's got you trapped. Shit. The thoughts, the chemical processes in my mind that I keep communicating with. When really, if I understood the way things really work, the thoughts aren't communicating with you. The thoughts are communicating for you. You want to know why I can say that? Because you're the thinker. Yeah, you can play that, I'm a high-level empath and I'm a telepath. Okay, yeah, now you got somebody else's thoughts in your head. But if you boo-boo the fool enough to have more of somebody else's thoughts in your head than you got for your own, you need to book a fucking session. If more you belongs to somebody else in your spirituality than you can fucking ascertain, you're already lost. Now we get back to them chemicals in the mind, because if I'm only communicating with the thoughts and the thoughts are not communicating with me, or the thoughts are not communicating for me properly, I need to check them motherfuckers. I need to start figuring out why I have been holding space for this line of thinking that keeps getting me on the journey, and how can I perfect a better line of thinking for myself as the thinker, not as the product of all the thoughts. Holy shit, responsibility and accountability. I got to be responsible for what I'm thinking, or else I'm just squirrel, just moving around erratically. Responsive to 97 thoughts in your head, and 98 of them don't belong to you. A fucking automaton, programmable as fuck. Holy shit, a perfect 10. Why? 5, easily moved. 5 plus 5 is 10. Step 5 is you're easily moved, only you don't understand you're moving in both directions. When you go left, a part of you already went right to verify that left was the best choice. If you don't understand that. Well, if you do understand that. When you energetically invest in a choice, there is some level of investment on the other side. It can. Grounding can definitely help overthinking. Earthing helps more than just grounding. But even spoken as a gemstone therapist, even like just say carrying a black tourmaline or an onyx or something like that with you to try and help ground your energy, at some point you'll have to start realizing where I don't need these tools. It has to be me. And then when I get into high active points to where me on my own is not enough, then I can reach for assistance. But the average person is only switching off one addiction for the other. I prayed about it. Now I ain't pray about it, so now I got on a protection necklace. You understand? Instead of shifting from one point of irresponsibility to another point of irresponsibility, start being responsible for yourself and trying different methods to see what works. Instead of just, at no point did I do it for myself. It was always something else that gave it to me. That is a human condition that we're currently dealing with. People only want shit given to them. Just give me what I need. Did you do anything to earn it? No. Yeah, I used to, hell, that's an old hashtag, grounding and shielding every day. Especially like when I used to practice ceremonial magic all the time. Before I would go out the house, ground and shield. Visualize my shields, an auric shield around there and a flaming shield around that and a sword shield behind that. And I would get myself energetically stoked enough to where I could feel them. Why? Because that's what the mind does. The mind gives you what you ask for. But if you don't know what you're asking for, you won't receive. That's called manipulation. So if you can give yourself enough energy in your mind to tell yourself that you are now in the highest states of protection, you can achieve it. But what I've learned over the years is if you keep going into all those high states of protection, the natural tendency of this universe is it's going to direct a challenge your way to verify that that's your truth. If you always walk around with your fist balled up, somebody is going to come to aggress you just to verify that you're in the highest states of protection. But when I understand I don't need those protections, I just need awareness, then I ground myself before I get out here erratically, becoming erratic with others. See what happened there? I checked me before I got out there and got checked by somebody else. Holy shit, I don't need protection. They need protection from me. Because if I'm out here in bitch mode, rah, 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 now I'm out here sharing my road rage with everybody else instead of checking me before I go outside. This is what everybody need to do. This again, like what my wife said, if everybody would just stop for a fucking hour and check yourself. If you check yourself before you get out here and share your shit show with others, holy shit, motherfucking Nirvana, Shangri-La, Shambhala, all that shit. But no, we get out here and communicate with motherfuckers who can't keep still because they trapped in the same overwhelm as us. They under the same depressions and suppressions that they can't get their shit together, and we get mad when we can't get our shit together either, and it's their fault. No, we're all accountable. So let me hurry up. Step 5, we're easily moved. We are all over the map. We're spiritual ADHD. Holy shit, 2 cars want to come up, but I'm not going to allow it. I don't think I can fight it though. Fought it. Uncertainty. Holy shit. Remember I told you you're on step 5? 2-9. You are trying to find out which way is going to show you the safest point of control. 9 is your highest vibration. That's a control effect. I'm trying to get to my highest vibration. Sorry, my highest vibration just walked by sashaying like a motherfucker. Keep on. One of these days, these kids going to watch us do some shit on live. Keep on. I'll do it. I really will. So, uncertainty. Uncertainty. Step 5, easily moved. I'm easily moved. I'm easily moved by what I'm sure of. But when you ain't sure of shit, you're easily moved. My problem with that, what you're saying, Tracy, and you should know me by now, this is never personal, but I am a contrarian. But I'm more than a contrarian. I'm not these new age contrarians. I see through shit. You said test, we are passing. Whose fucking school are we in? I don't know about you, but I didn't manifest my energy into existence to be tested on how to go through adversity. I'm here to live. We got to get out of that mindset of thinking everything is a test, because that becomes condonement. That's how you keep motherfuckers on a plantation for 400 years telling us one day it's going to get better. Why? Because you think everything is a test. Hell no, I'm not here to be tested. The moving from others or move forward, always move for yourself. Always move for yourself and then see who's there. Always move for yourself and then see who's there. In the sense of where this is step 5, uncertainty. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going to take accountability for what's going to happen. What do you mean what's going to happen? The minute I meet something that does not show me the proper reciprocity and reflection that I desire, see all that God energy? The minute I meet something that is not for me, I'm no longer there. Yeah. Ooh, yes. The problem with conscious choices is subconsciously they've been fed to us. We're conditioned. And again, that gets back to them chemicals. Because we have been conditioned, not only physically, emotionally, spiritually, sexually, basically all the leads, our food, everything conditions, everything either suppresses or over exaggerates our chemical flows in our mind. The subconscious ain't got shit on somebody that's aware. Because the subconscious cannot hide from a thinker when they're acting out of awareness. When you start to operate out of awareness, knowledge goes out the fucking window. Your subconscious pulls from known choices. Your subconscious is really kind of like the test itself. But when I see what my subconscious is wanting me to do, like, hey man, pick that up and throw that rock at the window. Motherfucker, you're crazy. Why? Again, learn that word why. Why should I do any of this? Then that subconscious be like, okay, my bad player. I ain't safe in here. Being intentional. Be intentional, but in order for you to be intentional, you got to be aware. Because if you're intentional based off of knowledge, your awareness is already out the window. I'm aware of what could potentially happen. Therefore, I decide to invest my intentions in this experience. And again, the minute that experience is no longer what I want to see, contract null and void. Not, well, I did invest in this and now it ain't showing me nothing, but I'm just going to stay with it. ROI, return on investment. I'm going to stay with it until somebody show me something different or until we can all get our shit together to stop making the same. That's the uncertainty effect. 2 plus 9, 11. You'll justify staying in separation because you already believe in the lie that something else is going to put you back together. The Humpty Dumpty effect. Humpty Dumpty, when he fell off the wall, if he couldn't put himself together, game over. Game over. I'm not going to go there because I'm out of time. But I saw a funny Humpty Dumpty the other day where, the wizard put him back together and he cast a spell because he had to pay the wizard every time he broke. The wizard kept casting a spell on him to make sure that he broke himself every day. I call that reincarnation. The wizard cast a spell on Humpty so that every time Humpty would do something to a point, he would always fall off that wall and need the wizard to put him back together. In this case, the wizard is your thoughts. Your thoughts are always going to take you through experiences that it knows is not going to set you free, and it's there for you when you fall apart, and it'll show you another way, ascension, reincarnation, the phoenix cycle. It'll show you another way to move. That's why you're on life cycle 667. Wholeness. So step number 6, and my alarm will go off in a minute. Step number 6. All I got to do is feel your mind. What'd I tell you? 3 was them thoughts that'll show you the trap. What was the trap? The thought. The thought was, let me communicate with you and fill your mind so much to where, said this earlier, there is no space for you. Look at what the government is doing to us. Filling our mind with so much shit that we don't have enough time to see that, holy shit, none of this shit's relevant. None of this shit's relevant, but because it's the only thing they inundate us with, we don't know how to disengage. So you're going to keep staying caught in that trap. 6 is your traumas. You're traumatized by 3 plus 4, 7. Who you think you are. You think you are what you're going through. You are not the summation of your choices. You are the totality. You're not the summation of your experiences. You're the totality of your choices. Both sides, you're the totality of your choices. Both sides, it's probably going to mess up my audio. But here's my thing. If something has you in separation, it's already not for you. Think about it. I'm in a relationship, I have a friendship, but now my friend wants me to choose between him and my other friend. I can't choose either one of you because there's already animosity. This is no longer reciprocal flow. This is now a karmic situation. The whole problem with the human experience is you motherfuckers keep choosing karma. You keep choosing karma because you think karma is something to be chosen. Karma is imbalance. Karma is not choosing something in reciprocal flow, so now you got to deal with the energy that is off balance. But it's going to keep coming back around. You want to know why? Because you won't get out of the cycle. Your mind has been trapped in that shit. So step 7, you get trapped in that shit. Judgment. Revealed. Everything's been revealed. It's just like, and I say this all the time too, everything we need to see has been shown. We just won't make any other choices. We see a psychotic, dementia-ridden madman and a bunch of racist motherfuckers and a bunch of fear-mongering son of bitches all around us. We see a bunch of people in our own society that is not fit to exist because they don't have the greater good imprint in them, and we still make space for them. If you keep making space for your sickness, you have already damaged your healing. Therefore, healing is a trick. If you ain't gonna do nothing but keep trying to heal the sickness, it'll work. Sorry, better watch Grey's Anatomy or any good fucking movie. The bad person is on the table. I'm not saving them. They've done harm. The doctor's oath. We gotta save them. Okay, so now you healed the sick motherfucker. He gonna go out and do sick shit. That's not what it is. Shh, don't lie to me. Keep lying to yourself. When you keep healing your traumas get better, but you don't. There is no healing. There's just me. There is me and my choices based in the awareness of what I've already done. And if I've already done it, I shouldn't include it in what I want to do next unless it's what I want to see. Ta-da, game over. It can't be that simple. Then you've just made your life that hard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Step 8, because I got to go. Step 8 is another 8. Empathy. Keep telling y'all 2026 is going to run to dozens on a lot of y'all motherfuckers. You're going to be connected to your traumas. What's my trauma? Karma. What's my trauma? Fear. What's my trauma? Healing. 26. I'm going to swim around everything that's been designed to keep me out of my own waters because it's going to keep me wet. Step 9, Your Honor, because I could go places with that one. Careless. 7. You don't know what 7 is. What's 7? The spiritual journey. What's the spiritual journey? Me. Well, where are you at? I don't know. I'm still trying to find me. I got a course in shamanism next week. It is careless to go to anybody else to figure out who you are when you don't even know who the fuck you are on your own. Sorry. I can't make that shit up. If you go to somebody else to tell them, to get them to tell them, if you get them to tell you who you already lost. Because all they can do is tell you what they see. But again, only thing they can see is what they understand about themselves. Sorry. It all boils down to self. Self in separation, self in stillness, self in subduction, self in ascension. If you don't know who self is, you are already on a spiritual journey. Step 10. If you don't know who you are, you're going to make a choice between your separation. 10 is the point of separation. 11 is separation already in effect. Because holy shit, now there's 2 ones. 10 is there's the potential to fool myself. Here's step 10 for October. You have the potential to fool yourself. You have the potential to fool yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 was movement. 5 was I don't know what I'm doing. 10 is I'm just trying to find stability. Remember I told you 2 plus 9 was 11. 10 is the potential to choose. 11 is you already chose to try and stabilize. Here's the dirty word before I go. You're only trying to stabilize the strongest thought in your head. Whatever you have invested in, that dirty ass intentions y'all like to use. You only trying to stabilize what you believe in because you want to see it as real, even at the cost of destroying yourself. That is humanity's biggest curse, is you will separate yourself for what you think will hold you together, and you'll never take fucking accountability for doing the harm to yourself. You'll work more for your traumas. You'll work more for the potentials of what you want than what you authentically are. And that keeps you motherfuckers on a spiritual journey. You don't know who you are. You just know what you want to see. And it's a great enough investment to go forward than to be the fuck still. Let me go get my kids. Wholeness.